Hey guys, I'm Hellhound, and I don't know whether you can tell or not, but I'm actually in a new place now. I've been moved into a new place, and all I've been doing is working and moving. I haven't had a day off since I moved into this new place. I haven't really been able to enjoy it too much. I haven't been able to do much relaxing yet. But yeah, just been working and moving, and oh man, it's been a chore, man. It's taken about a week to get all my stuff over here. I'm actually renting out a basement, so I've always wanted to be a basement dweller. I've always wanted to live in a basement, and now I finally can say that I do. So pretty excited about that. Yeah, this move has been quite an experience. It's been something of a nightmare, you could say, which is appropriate because today we're going to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. That's right. This is the Freddy Krueger tag. Created by Sean Erschen, who also tagged me. Going to answer some questions about Freddy Krueger. That's right, the Nightmare Man. He'll get you in your dreams. Hell yeah. Big fan of Freddy. I love the Nightmare series. It's great. So let's go and get started. Question number one. What is your favorite dream sequence in the series? Now that's really hard because there are so many good ones. So many great ones. I like the one that Sean Erschen came up with. That probably is the best one. Definitely one of the creepiest. But I think I'll probably go with maybe Kristen's dream at the beginning of part 3. You know, she's being chased by Freddy through the Elm Street house. You know, all kinds of creepy things here and there. I love haunted houses. I love creepy old, scary houses. You know, and then she's like holding the little girl, and the little girl turns into a skeleton, and that was pretty scary, so I really like that a lot, so let's go with that one. Oh, man. Alright, question number 2. What is your favorite film in the franchise? Well, the thing is, I think the original, the very first Nightmare on Elm Street, is technically the best. I think it's the scariest, the most suspenseful, I think it's the most sophisticated, most well-directed, but my personal favorite is actually Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, because I love the characters. Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp, returns, which is good, as is John Saxon, who returns as her dad, Lieutenant Thompson. I love all the characters. I love the kids. They're all troubled kids in like a kind of like a asylum type place, and this is when the series started having really elaborate, really creative dream sequences and kills as well. Like there's a lot of characters that they're really likable. They're really interesting. Yeah, a lot of different various dream sequences, and like they begin to realize that they can use powers in the dream world against Freddy. Freddy's not the only one who has powers in the dream world. I thought that was an interesting concept. So they can actually fight him back in their dreams, which I thought was cool. And yeah, I just love the movie. Great acting, wonderful characters, really fleshed out storyline. Also has a better ending than the first film did, I think, and explains things a lot more. It's a little more coherent. It's a little easier to follow. Freddy wasn't as scary as he was in the first two. This is kind of where he started making jokes a little more, but he wasn't the complete comedic, campy, wisecracking clown that he was in later installments. I think it was a good balance. Also love the part where Freddy possesses his own remains, the charred skeleton, and he fights Nancy's father and Craig Watson's character in the junkyard, surrounded by all the trashed cars. I thought that was just awesome. So yeah, great dream sequences, great characters, great kills. I just love that movie so much. I could watch it over and over. And so as I said, yeah, the first film is probably the best technically, but my personal favorite is part 3. I just find it way more fun and entertaining. Alright, question 3. Do you think Nightmare on Elm Street 2 should have followed the first film more, or does it actually work as a standalone? Well, I actually like the fact, I appreciate the fact that they did something different. I think it was cool. It was made a little more unique. It reminds me of Super Mario Brothers 2, and that is totally different. It's like the black sheep of the series. Instead of like killing people in their dreams, Freddy's actually trying to possess somebody, Jesse, the main character played by Mark Patton. He's trying to possess him so he can kill people in the real world. So Jesse's kind of becoming Freddy, which is, you've got the body, I've got the brains, which is pretty interesting concept. I don't think it was executed as well as it could have been. And yeah, maybe the film would have benefited from a few more references to the first movie and felt more like a proper sequel and like followed it a little more closely. But I kind of like that they did something different. I think it makes it unique, and it kind of makes it a little more interesting. I think it's really underrated. It does definitely have its flaws. It definitely has its problems. It's not like one of the best Elm Street movies, But I definitely think it's a lot better than most people say. It's very dark too, which is good. It has some great kills. I love the opening on the school bus. That was awesome. Freddy had a really great look. He looked really scary in it. Yeah, I really love the way Freddy looked in part 2. For sure. So yeah, I don't think the movie's as bad as people say, but yeah, maybe it would have benefited a little more from following the first movie. But I appreciate that it tried to do something different. It tried to be its own thing. It wasn't just an imitation. All right. So question number 4: what is your favorite kill in the franchise? Well, I think I might have to say Philip from part 3. Freddy rips his veins out of his limbs and controls and makes him walk like a puppet. He sleepwalks. He's a sleepwalker. The only thing that doesn't make sense is there's a part where he walks right through a door, which was in the dream world. Now, I wasn't sure if that happened in real life or not. I guess with Freddy's influence, pretty much anything can happen in the real world as long as it's happening in the dream. But another thing I don't understand is, okay, when something happens in the dream world, like Freddy slashes somebody across the face with his knife, the knives on his fingers, it happens in real life. But how come Philip's veins weren't ripped out in real life? It just looked like he was sleepwalking. I don't know, maybe, and same with Kincaid in part 4. He gets stabbed in the dream, but there's no blood, there's no wound on his chest. Either there's a continuity error, or maybe Freddy has control over that type of thing. Maybe he can manipulate whether or not that happens. But yeah, I think that's probably my favorite kill. It's definitely very creative, very interesting. It's not just this is what I like about the Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's not just people getting stabbed with a knife or beaten with a hammer or something. It's really, really creative, really elaborate death. It's a little more psychological. Okay, question number 5. Is Freddy vs. Jason, does it work better as a Nightmare on Elm Street film or a Friday the 13th film? Now, I think it does feel a little more like a Nightmare on Elm Street film. It focuses a little more on the Freddy side of things, but there's definitely enough Jason stuff in there as well. Like, originally, there was an original opening that was a little more like it was at Camp Crystal Lake and which Freddy vs. Jason, the final cut opens at Camp Crystal Lake as well, but the opening was a little more Jason-oriented. I think they didn't have the rights to the footage from the Paramount Jason movies, because it actually shows clips from Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through 3 at the beginning of Freddy vs. Jason. And yeah, I will say it probably does feel a little more like an Elm Street film. It feels more like a Freddy movie. Hell, he's even really the main villain of the movie. They kind of make Jason kind of like as the reluctant hero, sort of. He's not really the good guy. He's just they kind of use him to defeat Freddy. Like, they're on Jason's side. They're kind of rooting for Jason, which is funny because he actually kills more people than Freddy does. Freddy only kills one person in the movie. I'm not kidding. Watch the movie again. You'll notice Freddy only kills one person, which is really weird. Yeah, it's very strange. But yeah, I'd say it does kind of feel more like a Nightmare film, but I think there's a balance of both franchises enough in there for fans to enjoy. I do wish they'd had some characters returning, like maybe Tommy Jarvis or Alice, played by Lisa Wilcox. Or somebody from at least one person from each franchise would have been cool. But I still liked it. I think it was very well done. I was very pleased when I saw it in the theater. I remember being very very blown away by it. How awesome it was. Yeah, it could have been better, but it pretty much delivered exactly what I wanted. All right, question number 6. Who's your favorite final girl in the franchise? Oh, that's a no-brainer. Definitely Nancy Thompson. It's played by Heather Langenkamp. She was in the first movie. She was in the third movie. Then she played Heather Langenkamp played herself in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. She was definitely the best protagonist in the franchise, and easily the best. She's in probably the top 5 best final girls of all time, right there with Laurie Strode and Jenny, played by Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2. Yeah, she's one of the best. She's just awesome. She actually I agree with Sean Erschen. She taught herself how to make traps, and she really wanted to fight against Freddy. She didn't want to just run from the whole movie. She actually wanted to fight back. And then in part 3, she has experience teaching these other youths what she went through and how to beat Freddy. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I'd definitely go with Nancy for sure. All right, question number 7. What would you like to see in the next installment? Say it with me now. Robert Englund returning to the role. Yeah, we all knew. I think we all, that's going to be everybody's answer right there. Robert Englund coming back. Please play Freddy one more time. Please, Robert, please. Just one more time as Freddy. Give it a proper send-off. Do one final Nightmare film, and it could be Freddy's swan song. I really want to see Robert Englund play the role at least one more time. I don't know what the continuity would be. I kind of like to see it follow Freddy vs. Jason. I don't want another remake. I don't know where else they would follow from. This is right after Freddy versus Jason, but as long as Robert Englund's there, I'm down pretty much. All right, the final question. Question number 8. Reenact your favorite line from the series. He has so many great lines. I mean, Freddy. There's so many excellent quotes from Freddy Krueger. But I'm gonna go with "Welcome to prime time, bitch" from Part 3. A good runner-up would be also from Part 3. "What's wrong, Joey? Feel a little tongue-tied?" You know, I love how his voice changes throughout that movie. Sometimes it sounds deep and demonic. Then other times it kind of sounds like a little higher pitched and kind of like mockingly like cynical. Like he sounds so like deliciously evil. Yeah, nobody can play Freddy like England can, man. He's just awesome. All right, well, that was all the questions. Thank you, Sean Erschen, for creating the video and tagging me. This is a great idea. I've been wanting to see, if you've been reading the comments of my videos, I've been wanting to see somebody do a Freddy Krueger tag. I was going to do them myself, but I figured Sean Erschen or Lisa Loves or somebody would probably come up with better questions than I would, so I strongly encouraged them to make one, and Sean Erschen did, and he did a great job. These are some great questions. Freddy's a great character, so, all right, guys, I'm in a new place now, so I'm very happy to be here. Lots of video potential. I've got the whole basement to myself, so there's loads of potential for videos here, and oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Very happy about this, and until next time. Peace.